up, Inkie peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and today we are experimenting. Now this could either work real good or not work, but like with all these experimenting videos, I like to think that I show you guys what not to do as well as what to do. Just let me get this out of the packaging. So what we're doing today is we're playing with resin. I first came across this technique by this lady called, I think it's Josie Lewis. I'll put her Instagram here, and she makes these beautiful resin pieces that with alcohol inks. And it was when I'd first got the alcohol inks and I was looking for a technique to use with them, and I came across this one, but of course I didn't have the resin, so I stored it away in my brain for later, and I do have the resin now. Aaron got this for me for my birthday, or was it my birthday or Valentine's Day? It was one or the other, they're close together. And I had a bit of a secret black market jewelry business when I was in high school, and I used to make resin jewelry. So this is kind of taking me back to my roots, and we're going to have a play. I've never used it with alcohol ink, and I haven't used it since I was about 16, 17 years old. So we're going to try this today. It could work, it could not. I'll tell you what you need, and then I may find that I need things further along. But the first thing, the most important thing, is you need some resin. So Aaron got me this as a present. It's not cheap, it's definitely not cheap, and it comes in a 2-pack. So in the 2-pack you have the resin and then you have the hardener. It won't work unless you mix them together, because you need, the resin won't harden unless you add the hardener. Funny about that, but that's what you need. Now this was the second smallest size. I think Aaron said they did have a mini one, so if you're just starting off and you haven't used resin before, maybe just get the mini one, because it is quite pricey. It's between $50 and $100 I think for these two. The second thing we're using are some molds, some silicone molds, and has to be silicone so that you can pop them out once you're done. I found these both on just eBay. I just typed in silicone molds, and these ones look like little quills, and I don't think they're really going to work because they're very, very thin. But you know what, I think it cost about $2, so it's worth a try, and it will use barely any resin. So I'm going to give those a go, and then these ones I think will work a lot better there because they're a bit deeper. We're not going to fill them up all the way, but yeah, so we'll see how we go. Now these won't last forever, so don't spend too much money on them. Like I said, I only paid a few dollars for them. You're going to need some gloves. You're going to also need just ventilation. I've got the windows open here because this stuff stinks. If you can, I don't know about doing it outside because you don't want things to fall into your resin, but if you've got somewhere near a very open window, do it there. Also, you might want to use like a mask, like one of those little painter's masks that you can pop on, if you would like to. See how you go with the smell. I'm pretty used to smelly things, so that sounds really bad. It's what I mean is I'm used to the painty kind of smell, and I've got these windows right in front of me opened up, so it might be a bit noisier too. And then the last thing you need are some alcohol inks. So I treated myself after the success that was the first alcohol ink video over here, and I bought some different colors. So I've got all the colors of the rainbow now. Oh, I had that one before, but I have some oranges and even currant and a few different new, maybe they're old ones. I know that one's a new one, crimson. So I've got a wide variety of colors to choose from, and I even found gold. So this is going to be fun to play with. One color that I do seem to see there, all the YouTube tutorials that I've looked at use is white. So white can come in handy. So when you're picking your colors, try and make sure you've got a white one in there. Then we're going to mix the resin up in just a plastic cup to pour it into the molds. So I've got two just in case I want to mix up more. And then you need equal parts of resin to hardener. So I'm planning on pouring it first into this cup, pouring it in there, and then pouring the same amount into here and pouring it into the larger cup, just so that I know how much I've got and something to stir it with. So let's experiment. I'm a little bit nervous. So it says 4 simple steps. We'll see how simple they are. They do say that there's some how-to videos and things, so I might pause it and quickly look over there because I didn't take notice of that beforehand. Plan is we're going to, with gloves on, we're going to measure equal amounts of the resin and the hardener. We're going to stir for at least 3 minutes. Then once it's mixed, we'll have about 45 minutes of working time, which we're not going to need 45 minutes, but that's good to know. Then if there's bubbles, you can use a torch, like a blowtorch, to dry them out. Now, I don't have a blowtorch. I have a heat gun, and I've seen some people online use a heat gun. The only problem with a heat gun is that it can blow like fluff and kind of blow the colours around a little bit. So we're going to try with that. We'll see how we go. And then you just wait for 24 hours. So this will be a video that I'll have to come back and film the rest of it tomorrow. So let's jump in. I'm going to quickly look at these videos and just see if there's any extra tips I can tell you before we get started. Alright, I've got the gloves on, so that means it's time to start. As you can see, I have just a few more colours. I'm thinking of doing, because I honestly don't know how the colours react, so I should say what you do. You pour the resin in and then you drop the, actually I'll show you a photo of what we're trying to achieve. You drop the alcohol ink into the resin once it's poured in there, and what it does is it creates like little tufts of coral, like it just looks incredible, absolutely amazing. So this is the lady I was talking about, and she also has a account called Petrified Rainbow, and can you see that? It just looks amazing. Now, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not hoping for that, because she's an expert that has been doing this for a very, very long time, but it does these little, the alcohol ink dries while it's still, I don't know, all blobby. It just looks absolutely amazing. So we'll see what we can achieve, but I'm not sure what colours work best together and what colours don't. So I'm thinking of doing one that is like blues and maybe yellow and gold, another that is pinks and reds and gold, and then a real rainbow one, maybe with pink, yellow, turquoise, green, like the bright colours, and then maybe another one that just has everything, not everything, but a lot of things. So we'll just try it out. So this is my cup. This is my dodgy measuring cup. I'm going to open up the resin, and I don't know how much I need. I'm only going to fill them up less than halfway, because I've heard a few people say that if you fill them up above halfway, it's harder to pop them out, and you also, just no matter what, you'll probably have to file them a little bit. And if they come out matte looking, I've got a trick for that as well. We'll reach that point when we get to it. So I think for starters, because you can just keep, you know, pouring up more, I think I'm just going to make that. I've probably made, I reckon I've made too much already. That's alright, we'll make it work. So with a pen, I'm just going to put a little line to where I poured up to, just so I know when I do the hardener how much to do, because it says equal amounts. I'm just going to grab my knife, and that's what I'm using as a spatula. Oh god, this reminds me of making them. What I used to do in high school is I'd suspend different like beads and things inside the resin, which was really fun. I might do some of those as well. If this works out, you might see another video in the future now. Ah, there we go. If I turn it that way, I can actually see the line. Alright, so there's my hardener. You know what? It's not actually that pungent. Compared to the one that I used to use, it's definitely not too bad. So just get all of that out. As much as we can anyway. Okay, now it says to stir for 3 minutes. So I'm going to pause it and stir it and we'll be back. Alright, I've mixed for, it said at least 3 minutes, so I've mixed it for about 4 to 5 minutes. It's very, very cloudy, and I saw on one video one lady just let it sit for a few minutes. So I'm going to try that because it's, I don't know if it's the way that I was stirring it, but it's very bubbly, which has made it quite cloudy. I don't know if I should keep stirring it or not. I think I'm just going to let it sit and give it 3 minutes just to sit in the cup. Alright, here's the first fail I'm going to teach you about. This was the first one and I overstirred it, so now it's like frothy. Don't overstir it like I did. I'm still going to try it, but it's not see-through. It's very, very opaque. I would suggest this as the stirring speed, not this. Just nice and slow. So I redid another one, a smaller amount, to check that it was my stirring, and this one has come out a lot better. I actually also let it sit for 5 minutes and that seems to have worked. So we're going to try this one first and do as much as we can. And I'm just going to pour it straight in and fill it up probably like a third of the way maybe. Okay, so there's the first one. I'll come and do the second one. Actually, that first one I think needs a little bit more in it. Just a smidgen more, and then I don't know if I've got enough to do another whole heart, so I think I might grab these little ones and see how these go. Oh, if these work out, it's going to be really cool. I'm just going to push the resin down the stem, I guess. Alright, let's try this one. Now, like I said, this is all just, wow, too much resin. This is all just a learning experience. You won't know until you try it out. Go down there, please. And then I think we've got enough for the final one. Oh, there was more resin in this cup than I expected. Wow, there's way too much in that one though. Uh-oh, we have too much resin. That's okay. Then I'm going to put the remainder in here, which isn't much at all. Not much at all in there. A little bit. Ah, okay, so there's some hiding on the sides, just kind of like you imagine cake mix sticking to the sides. I'm going to try and pour a bit of the excess into here, just because there is a lot in this one. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to move that resin all around so it reaches the bottom, and then I think I'm just going to give this one a go in the 4th mould, and I'm going to leave that one as a super skinny one. Alright, time to colour. So let's start with I'm going to take my gloves off now because it's a bit hard, or at least one glove off. It's a bit hard to open the jars. I might zoom you in for this part. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright, I'm going to try some blue. Whoop. Oh wow, that looks cool. Okay, so I've tried some blue. Let's try some really dark. Oh gosh, I'm taking this glove off. Ah! Alright, I'm going to try the really dark blue. Wow! Okay. Ah! And then let's try some of the white. Does that have a special? Oh, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, you can see on this one it's not, because it's not deep enough, it's not going all the way through. So you probably won't get layers like we will on this one, but it's worth, hey, it's worth a shot. Let's try a bit of the gold. Oh, the gold is beautiful. I think I'm going to make one of these just gold. Oh wow, that gold is, well, that's a lot of gold. That is stunning. Okay, just for the fun of it, I'm actually going to add some pink to this one. And back to the white, because I see when people do it they add quite a lot of white, more than I expected. Maybe a bit more white for this one too. Okay, let's try, just for the fun of it, I'm going to try and add a bit of turquoise in the kind of the gaps, I guess you could say. Whoa. Oh, if I do that, it. Oh, okay, we're overflowing, but that's okay. All right, I think I'm going to do some pink into this one before it gets too dark. And I'm also, whoa, okay, so here's a point. Don't move your mold. Once it's there, it's there. I'm going to do a bit of this hot pink. And some of the white. Whoop. That was a lot more than I bargained for. I'm going to try some yellow. And I'm going to do some yellow in this cloudy one, just because I feel like it could do with a bit of brightening up. Now I might zoom you out so you can still see this one. Ooh, okay, it's bubbling. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the trick with the heat gun. Bugger. Oh, well. We'll soon find out whether that was important or not. This is, if I thought the Yupo paper was exciting, this is even more exciting because it's like a mystery. You don't know what, you don't really know what you're getting. Let's do some pink into this one. Oh, I don't know about that colour. It's kind of a dusty pink, that one. I'm not a huge fan. And let's try some red. And some more white. I don't know if like the number of layers that you do helps. I have no clue. And this one needs doing too. I forgot about this one. And this one's actually getting quite dark because of our little spillage incident. I'm going to put a bit of white. I honestly don't know what these are going to turn out like, guys. A bit more white. A bit of white in there. And then let's try this currant colour, which is actually quite dark. Ooh. One more drop, come on. Yeah, so I'm not sure how, like, are the first colours that you put in the ones that show up the most, or is it the last colours, or who knows? Alright, this one I'm going to put some gold into. I have a feeling the gold might sink. I don't know, but oh, this is so fun. I feel like a mad scientist. And when do you stop? That's the question. When do you stop? Alright, this one has none. Let's try good old turquoise, pink and gold. Let's do a very Adele one. Before we do, let's try the heat gun trick. Oh, it does help. Okay, it helps a lot. I really wish I'd done the heat gun on the other ones. Because that did help quite a lot. Okay, we're going with the blue. Let's go with some nice bright pink. Let's throw in a bit of dark blue. I do feel very potion making. I feel like I should be with a witch's hat on and a sparkly cape, and I'm making different concoctions of things. And then we'll try a little bit of gold. And I can see that there's kind of bits on the side that don't have as much colour. I think you do have to do quite a few layers. That's how you get the depth. I don't know. I am just making things up as I go. Alright, let's try this greeny kind of colour. I'm going to be so impatient waiting for these to be done. Alright, this one, let's go back. This one actually looks really cool. It's doing lots of things. And And I'm going to add a little bit more white to this one too. The gold does do like a film, almost like a film over the top. Let's try some yellow in this one. Don't know if it will do anything. And then I think we need to walk away. I think just one more. This one's looking good. This one's very dark, as is that one. It's just so addictive, guys. Alright, this one, if it looks like that on the front, we're going to have a happy time. I'm going to leave this, but I've kind of now made the mistake that I can't really do anything on my desk right now. So I still have 40 minutes till Archie comes home, and I was going to film one more video, but I'm going to leave it. I'm tempted with this bubbly resin to see if I have another. I might just see if I have another ice cube tray that I can try. I have a couple of other silicone molds that are ice cube trays, but they're too nice to use, so I don't think this is going to work. It's so thick, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to have fun splurting some inks in there, and I kind of want to see how they fall. Definitely I'm going to be on the hunt for some more molds, just to see. Oh wow, you can see them falling down. That's really cool. I feel like the more layers you have, the better, now that I've just seen that. So I might add a little bit more here and there to what I've already got, just because it's a bit hard with this camera angle, but on the side you can see them starting to fall down into place. I'm just going to, this is going to be my experimentation cup, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's okay. A little bit more here, and I'm also wondering like if a splattering kind of motion helps too. Alright, let's try some pink. Whoops. And yeah, you can see it slowly starting to settle in. Does make me wonder how it all works. Oh wow, you can see on the sides. I might take the camera off and just show you in a moment. You can see it falling. It's starting to fall down. I might just add some more to this and I'll show you the side too. Alright, you can see with this one the little dropply bits kind of starting to sink down and form. So it'll be interesting to see if that one works or doesn't work. That's what it looks like from the top. And then here's a little look of these ones. I am loving this pink one, by the way, and I don't know if they'll work, but if they do, they'll be all connected together, so we'll see how that goes when we get to it. But underneath, you can see you can see that the gold does fall straight to the bottom, but not all of the gold, kind of just a few pimples of gold. So it'll be interesting to see what these ones turn out, because they've had quite a lot plonked on them. So I will be back. You won't notice that it's been probably 24 hours, but I will, and I'll be back and we'll unveil them together. Alright peeps, it's been, let's be real, it's probably been about 3 weeks since I first did this. We went away and I just haven't had a chance to film and talk because Archie's been here and I can't talk while he's here. But I have good news. They worked. Well, these ones really worked and these ones worked, but we've got to do something to make them really work. So let's look at these ones first. This one is really nice and thin, and you can see, let's focus, the gold sunk right to the bottom. It just went straight to the bottom, and that's why I've got these really big polka dots. But I kind of like that. It's an interesting look. And this one's very thin, so you'll see it's quite different to the other ones because the ink doesn't have a long way to fall. So I do love this one, but my favorite is this one, I think. So overall it worked really well. I can imagine seeing this on a journal cover. I think that would look really pretty. Even that side looks kind of cool too, if I can get it in the light. It's a bit hard to see because it's such dark colors. Now it has dipped down, so you could just easily get a nail file or some sandpaper and just sand all of that back. The thing that worked with these ones is because this silicone mold is glossy and it's not matte like this one is, they turned out glossy. I don't know how that works, but because this one is matte, they've turned out matte, and I'll show you the difference in a moment. Let's zoom you in a bit actually, because we don't need to be quite that far away. There we go. All right, so that's the first one. Then we have this one, and it was really easy to take them out. Like I said before, I didn't put anything in here to help get them out. They just popped out, you know, normally. They didn't need any extra assistance. And this is the next one. Let's get that focus on there. There we go. And this one is really, really cool, especially up this corner. I don't know if you can see, there we go. But it's kind of translucent a little bit. And I love that look. So that's something I'll definitely do again. I think it didn't have much ink in the top parts. There's a little bit of blue there. You can kind of see through it. But you can see all the, kind of looks like a coral reef. All of these little tiny, there we go, all these little tiny wiggly bits suspended, and you can see that there are some bubbles in this one because I didn't get the bubbles out with the heat gun, or ideally a blowtorch beforehand. So next time I try this, I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on a little mini blowtorch. I'm sure I might be able to find one maybe in a cooking shop or something, like you do for those little things you eat. Souffles, are they souffles? I don't know, I'm not fancy enough. But yeah, I love the way this one looks. I think it would look really cute on like a woodlandy, magical, fairy kind of journal. So there's that one. And then we have this one, which, whoa, there we go, which has a lot of droplets that fell to the bottom. So I was trying to experiment with all the videos that I've seen online. They use a lot of drops. Next time I think I'm not going to do as many drops. I'm going to see how a smaller number works. But you've still got those really cool little, I'll do some up close photos at the end so you can see it properly, but there's all these little tentacle bits. And for some reason the gold didn't go sink to the bottom of this one like it did that one. So I'm not sure what the story is there. It's still all at the back here. But I love it. Ooh, all right, and then the last one, which is my favorite, is this one. Look at that. It's very hard because I'm in front of a window not to get that glare on there, but can you see all of those little tentacles of droplet goodness. It's beautiful to look at. And then it's really thick at the top. So I don't know what maybe it was the different colors have different floating abilities. I'm not quite sure, but this one seems to have a very thick bit at the back. Even that side is just beautiful by itself. But look, oh, it's so pretty. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm thinking maybe on a canvas they might look really pretty. But like I said, there is a bit of a lip you can see there, so I will file down the edges. So that's that one. And then the little feathery quills turned out really well too, but because they were matte, because the mold was matte, it is matte, which I think is a really cool look as well. It looks very painted. Sorry about the focus here, it's trying to get the ones in the background. There we go. I have seen that if you pour resin on the top, it will make it glossy again. So that's what we're going to try quickly before I go. So there's a blue one with little splecks of gold. And then these three kind of join together. So I will have to cut them apart. Let's just do a rough cut for now. There we go. So there's this little one. The pink turned out very hot pink. So just imagine that bit's cut. Still got some excess on it. And then there's this one, which I think once it's glossy is going to look really, really nice. It's kind of turquoise with a touch of red and lots of gold. And you got to remember these are thin as well, so the ink didn't really have far to go. This is probably my favorite one. I really love this tiny little splash of turquoise. These I could definitely see putting on a scrapbook page because they are thin. They're thinner than like a normal flare badge, really. So I'm going to now give them a little bit of a trim, and then I'll mix up some resin and we'll see if we can make them glossy again. Let's hope we can. Alright, so I've mixed up some more resin. I've got my glovey gloves on, and here are my feathers. Now, ideally I should probably put them in something, shouldn't I? Do I dip them in? What does one do? I don't know. What if I got a paintbrush I didn't like? Perhaps that might work. Alright, might grab a paintbrush. Now I've purposely mixed up too much so that I can maybe make some more. But the reason why I think a paintbrush might work is because these already have a textured pattern on them. If you had something that you wanted to be smooth, I'm not sure if a paintbrush would work. Alright, there's one. I'm sure I've missed bits, but it works. Let's just put a little bit more. Oh, yep, that's a lot. Alright, next one. And I'm just kind of smushing it along. These, you've got to experiment in order to learn and make mistakes. So these are just practice ones. If they work, they work. If they don't, that's okay. I've learnt how not to do it. But I think they will work. I probably will have to film the end of this video tomorrow because they'll need 24 hours to dry. I left my favourite one till last. Always, if you're doing something like this, leave your favourite one till last, because if you do something that doesn't work, you can change it before you get to your favourite one. Okay. I hope it doesn't stick to the wax paper. We shall find out tomorrow. Alright, let's put those to the side. Let's bring this in. There is bunny hair everywhere at the moment. It's just ridiculous. The poppet is molting, so if you see brown hairs or black hairs anywhere, poppet is just, you just touch her and she goes poof. And I vacuumed this morning and already I'm going to need to vacuum again. Do I want feathers or hearts? You know what, I'm going to do the feathers first because they don't really take much. And whoop, kind of use that paintbrush to help push it into the tricky spots, like that tiny little stem. Oh, Adele, that was a lot. That may have been too much, or perhaps, oh, and the fact that you're dripping on it doesn't help either. Okay, all right, let's just drip you in there. Now we'll do the hearts, and I think I'm going to go for some kind of skinny ones. Skinny, I mean thin. And this one, ooh, I might have enough to do the 4. Oh, yay. Okay. And a bit more in that one. So make sure, I made the mistake of lifting up my mold without gloves on, and oh, there's something in that. It's some of the cut off resin that I cut before. Yes, so please wear gloves because it's horribly sticky and it just feels gross. Alright, you can go to the side. Now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to grab my heat gun and just give them a little blow, because this one's got quite a lot of bubbles, so I might just, this will just be noisy for a moment. Wow, that actually made a real difference. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but it actually really, especially the little feathers, you saw all the bubbles go. Don't get me wrong, there are still bubbles in there, but it's a lot better. Hang on, one more. Alright, now for colours. Let's see. I think, did I do this before I had all of the alcohol inks? No, I think I had them all, but they just didn't seem to be very yellowy, so I'm going to try and do a yellowy one that's yellowy orange, and then I'm going to try and do a yellowy green one. So I'm going to start off with the lightest colours and see how that goes. If that makes a difference, who knows? This video is going to take me 2 months to film. Alright, here's a bit of that. Let's also get a little bit of white in there. Oh geez, that's, oh, I must have been feeling strong when I put the lid on that one. Whoop. Okay, I put a bit of white. Oh, some of the white flakes have gone in this one already. And then this one I'm going to start with white. See what happens there. Let's put some turquoisey blue in this one. And a little bit in that one. It really is just very fun to play with. If you're looking for something new to try, it definitely is fun. And like I said before, I feel very mad scientisty, and that's quite fun. Now it says you've got like 45 minutes of working time, so the fact that these are just hanging here for a moment isn't going to break them. It will all be okay. I haven't worked out what colour I want for this last one. Oops. Whoops. I might do a little bit more yellow in this one. Let's see how that goes. Maybe a little bit. Ooh, that's cool. Well, I can't really see. I hope I'm getting into the corner there. I'm going to try a bit of the dark blue here. Okay, and then I'm going to try a bit more white. And the reason why I'm putting the caps back on them even though I'm using them again is because I don't trust myself not to knock them over. Alright, this last one, I think I'm going to try, this is going to be tricky, and do a bit of a rainbow. We'll see if this works. It may be a disaster. Orange. So I'm trying to go across. Okay. This may not work at all, but you've got to be in it to win it. Oh, I don't know if we're going to get all the way to the other side of the rainbow. Oh wow, okay. Okay, that changed things up a bit. And then can we get in a little bit of blue before it closes up? Let's try. Oh, okay, that may or may not work. This is doing some amazing things and I'm tempted to not touch it. I think I'm just going to put a tiny bit of white in here just to see what happens. And I think I might actually just, I feel like this needs a little bit more things because otherwise it's just going to be the one colour. So I'm going to try and stick to that same rainbow but just put a little bit more here and there. This one will be very interesting. Whoa. It will be very interesting to see what's happening underneath. But I think that's part of the fun, the mystery of it, that you don't know if it will work out, but it is also part of the frustration because you don't always know what worked in order for it to turn out. So I'm going to pop those, or maybe I'll slide you. Slide away, little ones. Alright, so these ones, I'm going to try a yellow kind of one. Do a little bit of yellow there. And then I think I might make this one into a bit of a greeny kind of one. And this one, see, is that even sinking down? I don't even know if it's sinking down. I did put too much resin in there though, that's for sure. Let's pop a little bit of blue in here. I feel like these ones aren't, I feel like I put too much resin in. That's a definite. Put a bit of white. The white behaves differently. I'm going to start off with some white on that one. And I I really did like that red corally one with a bit of blue, so I'm going to try and semi-recreate that. And most likely fail, but have a lot of fun in the process. Oh. I'm just putting it anywhere. Where's the coral? Here it is. Okay, so a little bit over here, a little bit over there. I need something in there. You can still see gaps through it, which will appear clear. So if you want clear spots, you can keep the empty pieces. But if you don't want clear spots, then I'd suggest filling them up. Like, sorry, you probably saw my messy hair then. This one has a weird clear spot here. I'm just going to put and this one up here. Alright, we shall see if those work. I will check back in with you in 24 hours probably, and we'll see what has happened. Excuse my hair, I just kind of like chucked it up in a very messy falling down bun. But I have a problem, guys. I have a huge mess of supplies to clean up. I just filmed my packing for a crop video and I have to unbag all the things, but I need to film the end of this resin and alcohol ink video because I've been filming parts of it for 2 months. 2 months, peeps. And I need to film it with talking, but I just don't have the heart to turn off the heater because look at this. So this is the heater, and I always turn it off when I do voiceovers, but how can I turn it off when she's right there? It would be so mean. So this last little part may have the heater in the background, but I just can't turn it off, Frizz. I wouldn't do it to you. No, you're getting all nice and warm in front of it. Alright, let's finish this video. So I love the way that the feathers turned out. I will show you a bit of a close-up. So they now have a lovely glossy finish to them. It did take away a lot of the texture, which I'm okay with, but I did like the texture as well. So do it as thinly as possible. I think that's the trick. So there's the blue, there's the corally coloured one, there's this little one that's got Frida's hair on it. And this one, which I do have to cut around. So they worked out well. These ones also worked out really fun, but like before, they're the matte finish. So I think I might actually leave these ones matte. I think, because otherwise this video is just going to be just constant redoing the feathers, redoing more hearts, redoing the feathers, redoing more hearts. So I think I might leave these ones as is. This one is really interesting because there's like a brown color and it looks beautiful. So this I think would be really nice on the front of a journal. And then let's see how these hearts turned out. So this time I didn't do as much ink, and ooh, obviously I didn't put my head over because the camera's here and I didn't look far enough because there's no colour down the bottom there. But we have this one, which is really fun. It's very, not because I didn't put as much ink in, not as many bits went to the surface. They all kind of stuck to the back. Let's see how, there we go. There we go, you can see that better now. So these little circles all raised to the top, or the bottom technically. But yeah, not as many did this time, so that looks really pretty. I like it thin too. What, back in focus. Back we go, back we go. There we are. Then we had a green, ooh. And they come out so easily from these molds too. Here's a close look at this one. I really like, I don't like green, you know that guys, but I really like this. Ooh. I love this little patch of like turquoise up the top. So there's that one, and then the blue. Oh, the blue look like crazy little jellyfish down here. That looks amazing. And I do really like that it's like a bit transparent because I haven't used as much ink, so you can see some of the parts just transparent colour. But I also really love the back of it as well. And then the last one, this was the rainbow one. I don't think it's very rainbowy. Ooh. Wow. How incredible does that look? It looks like something that belongs on, like, I don't know, a gypsy's belt. I just feel very like I don't know why, but I'm getting the connotation of like a fortune teller, psychic with this. It looks like galaxy, this side over here, and then a little bit of like the sun shining through. Wow. Let's see if I can bring it even closer for you to look at. There we go. Wow. I didn't think that one would turn out that way, so that was a very pleasant surprise. Woohoo! Alright, so in the end, this was an extremely fun project to do. I learnt lots of things, and I'd probably want to have, where's the other one gone? Hello? Oh, here it is. Stuck to my diary. I actually probably prefer the second lot, if I'm being honest. I think the colours are a little bit brighter, and I have to cut these apart, but the colours are a little bit brighter, and I don't know, this one's just so dark, and I don't know, that's got to go somewhere special. I don't know where yet. If you've got any ideas for how I can use these, let me know, because I'd love to figure out something to do with them, because I'm thinking these ones would be really fun if I could punch a hole through them to use them as charms on my traveller's notebook. I still have to go around and nail file these ones. But yeah, let me know what you think I could do with them. I also have a smaller heart mold on the way, so I might do another video in a few months with that, and make some like thin like scrapbook embellishy type ones. Thanks guys for joining me today in today's epic video, and if you've tried this at home, let me know, or if you'd like to see more of it, let me know, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!